Hello and welcome back to Modalities Movement Therapy. In this workout, we're going to be looking at back pain. Did you know that back pain is one of the leading causes of disabilities worldwide? So in order to bring about healing and improved range of motion of the muscles that surround the spine, we need to bring movement into the spine and strengthen the muscles that surround it. With the use of a foam roller and a soft reflex ball, we're going to look at releasing the muscles and we're going to look at activating and strengthening the muscles. Let's begin in standing, and I want you to place your hands on your rib cage, where we are going to focus on diaphragmatic breathing. With something like back pain, even a simple diaphragmatic breath can help you activate those core muscles. And by activating the core muscles, you're getting movement into the spine and into the muscles that surround the spine. This will help you release tension and start getting movement into these areas of the body. And from there, you can progress to adding rotation and other movements into the spine. Let's start with those hands, shoulders relaxed on the rib cage. Slowly breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Feel your breath moving into your rib cage, opening up the spaces between the ribs. On your exhalation, feel the contraction. So you want to almost create a vacuum. Suction the belly button towards the spine. Then on the inhalation, you're moving into a horizontal breath. So you should feel the expansion around the waist, relaxing the shoulders so the breath is not coming into the shoulders. Exhale, feel the contraction. Let's do 2 more, breathing in and exhale. And 1 more, breathing in and exhale. Now standing at the back of your mat, relaxing your shoulders again, we're going to breathe in this upright position. And then on your exhalation, bring your chin to your chest. Exhale through the nose, roll down through the spine. So think of each vertebra and just take it as far as you can. If you have any tension around that lower back, and that's as far as you can go, take it to that range of motion, and then you can always progress from there. If you can go further down, relax into the stretch, and we're now going to breathe. And I want you to think of the rib cage expanding, pushing into the lower back and around the spine. As you exhale, you should be able to drop a little bit deeper into that stretch. Breathe in and exhale. Maybe do another 2 in your own time. Breathe in and exhale. If you want to continue with that, add a few more breaths and feel that expansion of the rib cage and pushing the breath almost into that lower back. You can put that reflex ball to the side, and now taking your hands onto your foam roller, lifting your tailbone, bounce your chest down to the mat. Relax the head and nod the head from side to side. In this position, we're going to breathe in again through the nose. On your exhalation, tuck the tailbone, so you're rounding the spine. Think of the spine opening up the vertebra between the spine, and you creating space into the vertebra, and bounce the tailbone back towards your heels. Now arch the back, so you're opening up in the pelvis first, and then almost like a ripple effect through the spine. You're going to drop the chest again, nod your head from side to side. In this position, we're opening up, so we're breathing into that space. On your exhalation, tuck and bounce. So you're really feeling that contraction now. Keep going, finishing off, bouncing, and then exhaling into that tuck position. You can add another 1 or 2. We're now going to move on to a little bit more of a rotation. So let's take one foot out to the side. Think about lengthening along that inner thigh. Take your opposite hand, so the same hand as your supporting knee, onto the foam roller at an angle. You're going to release your ear onto the arm, then take your other hand and grab hold of that wrist. And you're going to breathe in here, and we're going to bounce into that rotation. And then as you exhale, you're contracting into these oblique muscles in the waist, and you're rounding the spine again, tucking the tailbone under. Let's do that again. Breathing in. Use this top hand to help extend that bottom arm. On the exhalation, contract and tuck. Let's do one more all together. And then I want you to continue and do about 8 on each side. We're now going to move on. So you're lying forward, and we're going to work along the inner thigh, just rolling that foam roller along the inner thigh. You can rest your foot next to the roller or on the foam roller. Try keep the knee in line with the hip, so you're opening up. But if the hips are very tight, you can drop the knee slightly. But as I said, if possible, bring the knee in line with the hips. Then you can release this whole hip area. Remember, there's that connection, that fascial connection around this whole area. Rolling right up to the hip and into the groin there as far as you can. Now we're going to angle the foam roller. So I want you to position the roller. Whoops. Position the foam roller right at the knee and relax the foot on the mat or the floor next to the mat. And you're going to extend and bend that knee. So you're releasing the inner thigh and the muscles along the inside of that knee, the tendons. Hold it in that extended position and just roll there. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep going there. If you need to add a little bit more, release. Now we're going to continue on this side. So I'm now taking you up onto your front arm line, and I'm going to rotate away from the foam roller, extending my top leg, bending my bottom leg. Position your top hand in front of you on the mat or slightly underneath you. Then you're going to take that same arm and you're going to roll along the front arm line. Drop the shoulder and rolling to release that front arm line. We're going to work into some push-ups. So we want to prepare the upper body as well. You can hold it down and bounce the shoulder up and down a few times. Good. Now we're going to take that foam roller onto the mat above, and we're going to work along the back arm line. So you're going to position, you can keep that top leg extended or bend the knees, and you're going to position your top hand onto the roller just to guide the foam roller along the triceps and the back arm line. So just give it a good release. Try and lengthen out as much as you can, releasing that back arm line. Keep going, finishing off. And now you're going to repeat the same thing to the other side. So you'll start off relaxing the head on the arm. You'll extend that leg and then roll along. Remember to come into that crunch, into those oblique muscles in the waist. You've done the one side. Make sure you're focusing on the other side now and tucking and rounding. So as we open up, you're breathing into that space you're creating. As you exhale, you're coming into that tuck. Then you'll continue moving onto the inner thigh, rolling along that inner thigh, angle the foam roller. Then we're moving onto the front arm line and the triceps. Let us continue now, putting the foam roller to one side, and I'm going to get you started on some movements into rotation, activating the triceps. So bring your hand onto your shoulder, your bottom hand. The top hand is directly underneath your shoulder. So you're lifting up and opening up. This is your inhalation. We're getting a little bit of rotation into that movement. As you exhale, you're going to push down. So that's your inhalation. As you exhale, I'm rotating away from my hand, pulling the shoulder down and bringing my elbow back. And I'm going to use my top leg coming into a crunch. Breathe in and lengthen away. Exhale and crunch. Breathing in. So take it in your time. Exhale and crunch. I'm going to finish off with one more and exhale. Here we should be feeling those oblique muscles again and the triceps. So really focus on that exhalation so you're coming into that contraction. Maybe do another 4 and then finish off on the other side with 8. So you're going to do 8 on each side. Then we're going to move on to releasing the front of the legs and getting ready for our back extensions. So let's take the foam roller onto the mat and roll along. Again, keep focusing on your breath just to help relax your body and ease you into these different releases. If you're not feeling much, you want to get a little bit deeper into the release, we're going to take one foot into the hand, and then you should feel you more lengthened in the front of that leg, and that'll help you get a little bit deeper into the release. Repeat it on the other side. You can also pulse the feet to the tailbone, and that should help you get a little bit more of a release there. Push up onto the elbows and up onto the hands. We're going to now rotate the foam roller. So we've released those inner thighs on the roller. We're now going to activate them and get a little bit deeper into our breath. So we're activating those core muscles again. So hands under the shoulders, breathe into your arch. Exhale, squeeze your foam roller, tuck your tailbone under, squeeze as much as you can, exhaling. So you're getting into that contraction, feel the glutes engaging, and you're going to arch the back. So start each movement from the tailbone, opening up there, breathe in as you look ahead. As you exhale, squeeze, squeeze, keep exhaling. If you want to take it, progress a little bit further,
Bounce the knees up. Keep squeezing that foam roller. When you can't exhale anymore, slowly lower down. And then arching, breathing in. I'm here, I'm hugging the spine with my shoulder blades. As I exhale, stretching, chin to the chest, and bounce. And again, so you can keep going with these movements. And exhaling. Bounce the knees up and down. Move them a little bit from side to side. So we're activating those deep core muscles. And the more you focus on that breath, the more you're going to get into that core contraction. Let's stop and have a little drink of water, hydrate and plump up. Okay, putting the foam roller to the side again. We're now going to take our soft reflex ball and we're going to bring it onto the sternum. So I'm just going to move my microphone. So this reflex ball is going to release and help us open up. So these pectoral muscles, part of the front and the deep core line of the body, we're going to give them a good release by positioning the ball underneath the sternum. So just relax in your prone position, ball at the sternum, quite a tender spot. If it is too much for you, then maybe just release the ball and focus on the breathing. But this is going to help us release all these muscles coming right up into the shoulder that will help us with our back extension. So rest one hand on top of the other. Relax your body as much as you can and breathe into the ball. Breathing in for 4 counts. And as you exhale through the nose, you can wiggle those shoulders from side to side and massage the ball. And again, breathing in and exhale. Finish off with one more, breathing in and exhale. Continue that for a few more if you're feeling very tight and these pectoral muscles are short because you've got that slouched, rounded position. Try and open up as much as you can and release the sternum. We're now going to move on to a hip release. So I want you to find your hip bones and I want you to bring the ball inside your hip bone. So we call this the iliac dungeon. 2 options. You can either bring your hand underneath the ball and you're going to push into that. But if you find you're getting deep enough, then don't bring the hand underneath the ball. I'll show you those options now. So just lying forward, you're going to bring the hand under the ball. Relax your forehead on your other hand. I'm just going to move my mic back into the center. So I find I get a little bit deeper into that if I bring the hand onto the underside of the ball and relaxing my forehead on the other arm or the hand, and you're going to breathe in and feel you breathing into your hand, which is, into the ball, which is underneath that iliac dungeon, and exhale. As you breathe in, your second option, if you want to get a little bit deeper again, is to lift your leg up and then on the exhalation, release. Keep going, breathing in and exhale. And again, continue moving through those positions as you release them. Make sure you do to one side what you do to the other. Now we're going to come up onto our hands and elbows. So you can bring the elbows quite close in. We want to activate the back arm line because the back arm line is attached fascially to those rhomboids, to these muscles at the shoulder blade on either side of the spine. Spread your hands out, open your hands up as much as you can. On your inhalation, you're going to drop and you're going to hug the spine with the shoulder blades. So breathe in here. As you exhale, you're going to tuck again from the tailbone. So activate and round your spine. So think again about the spine and opening up the spaces between the vertebrae. So you're tucking into that position and stretching across the shoulder, the back of the shoulder blades on either side of the spine. Arch your back, breathe in, hug your spine with your shoulder blades. As you exhale, tucking from the tailbone. Now we're moving in and out of these positions. If you do experience lower back pain, I want you to position a cushion underneath your hips. If this is still not a comfortable position for you to, you want to take yourself out of your comfort zone, a little bit of discomfort, focus on your breathing to help ease you into the movement. But if that position is still not a position that you are happy to be in, if you experience any pain, then I want you to stand with your elbows against the wall. Bring your hands up and step your feet slightly away. Squeeze your glutes because that's going to help support your lower back. And you're going to hug the spine with your shoulder blades. You're going to breathe in as you move closer to the wall. Then you're going to exhale and round your spine. Push back. Keep the elbows glued to the wall. And you're going to breathe in again. You can bounce a little bit into that position, hugging the spine with the shoulder blades. As soon as you exhale, come into that tuck position. So I'm going to assume my position on the floor. Find your place where you're feeling you're activating those muscles. And we're going to continue breathing in and then exhaling. Continue with that a few times. When you're ready, I want you to take your elbows off the mat. And again, this is another option. You should already feel that you are working the back arm lines, those triceps. But if you can, let's take it a little bit further, breathing in and hugging the spine with the shoulder blades. As you exhale, push the elbows off the mat and bounce into that activation. Drop down, breathe in. As you exhale, bounce, tuck and round. Good, finish off, breathing in and exhale. I'm going to leave it there. If you feel you can continue, then by all means, take it and a little bit further, activating those muscles. Let's now follow down onto the mat. And we're going to breathe in. In this position, make sure the glutes are engaged before we even start breathing in. So think of the butt, the blades, the breath bringing you up. If you can, you take the hands up, arms up, extend them ahead of you, bend them, and then slowly release. Squeeze the glutes, think of the butt, think of the breath, the shoulder blades, you're squeezing the shoulder blades together, you extend the arms, you bend the elbows, and you exhale, lower down. And again, continue and do as many as you can. And once you're done, bring the elbows back onto the mat, push up And let's stretch back into child's pose. In this position, I want you to feel the breath again into that lower back. Now we're coming up onto the hands and knees, and we're going to move into some rotations, just stretching and getting that rotation into the torso. Rotate your hand so your fingers are pointing away, and you're going to slide that arm through, relax onto your shoulder, relax onto your ear, extend your arm, and pulse that hand back. Bring the hand onto the mat, and let's come up. Do the same thing again. Reach and open up, pulse. Hand onto the mat and come back up. Then let's do the same to the other side. You're going to reach through, open up, and hand down, and come back onto the hands and knees. And again, continue into those rotations. And we're going to now bring the roller back onto the mat and bring the neck onto the roller, nodding your head from side to side. Releasing any tension in the neck. Let's hold the head to one side, and you're going to draw a circle with the nose. When you're finished, change direction. And what you do to one side, do to the other side. Good. Let's rock up to a seated position. And I want you to take the reflex ball. If you have any tension in that lower back, in line with the hip bone, we're going to bring the ball into that lower back area. Relax your head in your hands and just roll that ball from the spine towards the hip, along the sacroiliac spine. If you want to get a little bit deeper into that release, cross your ankle over your knee and roll. Roll that ball, bounce that knee down. Find that sweet spot and move the ball around if you need to, if there's more than one spot, and bounce the knee down and release the foot. Then repeat the same thing to the other side. If you want to just focus on the one side, if you have a lot of tension there, then you can. Otherwise, you move that ball over to the other side. We're now going to rock up and bring our shoulder blades onto the foam roller. Head releasing in the hands, so your neck should be nice and relaxed. Open up the space between the chin and the chest, and let's lift the tailbone and release those shoulder blades that we've activated. If you want to get a little bit deeper into one side, then you're going to rock the other shoulder blade off the foam roller and give that one side a little bit more attention. What's nice about this position is you can get right up into the shoulder. Rock over and repeat to the other side. And now we're going to go into a few shoulder or back extensions. So you're taking the feet onto either side of the mat. We're going to now open up. So take it as far as you can. You're opening up, you're creating space. Let's breathe into the space that we're creating. So through the nose, then as you exhale, again, take the tailbone and tuck it under. So you're starting that ripple effect through the spine as you Push the lower back down into the mat. Then the head will follow. Let's arch again, opening up from the lower back. And if you want to bounce your chest, make sure your head is nice and relaxed. You don't want the neck to take over from what the spine and the core muscles should be doing. You're coming into that contraction. You want to activate these muscles. So exhale, suction the belly button to the spine. Let's do another 2, and then we'll progress to lifting the feet. And then exhale. One more. And I'll show you this progression. Exhale. Make sure the lower back is firmly planted in the mat. Any tension in the lower back, you keep the feet flat on the mat. Otherwise, with the belly button suction to the spine, you're going to lift the feet. So we're just getting a little bit more of a contraction there. Release the feet. Now you're ready to inhale. So that all happens on the exhalation. Exhale. Tuck around the spine. Lift the feet when you're ready. Don't let that happen because you're not supporting the spine. Keep the lower back pushing firmly into the mat. Drop the feet and breathing in, opening up, exhale, and lift. Good. From there, hug the knees. Continue with that until you've reached 8, and I'm going to show you the next exercise. Lengthening the legs ahead of you. We're going to bring the foam roller into the hands, and you're going to sit tall, so right up on the sit bones. Lift the tailbone and move the sit bones. We'll move the skin or the flesh away so you can keep yourself in a nice lifted position. And we're going to pulse into that open position. Here we're going to breathe in. On your exhalation, you're going to tuck. And you're going to reach the arms ahead of you. You're going to slowly roll down through the spine. And then as your head comes down, you're going to reach the arms above. And that's your inhalation. Take your time with this as you exhale. Lower back again. So you're tucking from the tailbone, supporting that lower back, reaching the arms forward. You're exhaling. Now to bring yourself into that lift, you're going to lift yourself up on the inhalation. So that'll help you, give you a little bit more impetus to come up. If you need to bend the knees and bring the feet flat, you can do so. Exhale, exhale, roll down. And when you're reaching above the head, you're breathing in and opening everything up, exhaling and pulling up into that lifted position. Good. If you can, keep the legs straight. We're going to exhale and I'm going to show you a progression into a rotation. So breathing in, opening up. Remember, the longer you use that breath, the deeper that contraction. Breathe in. We're going to rotate to the side. As you exhale, I want you to reach. So here, like we did before, you're coming into that oblique contraction. So you're tucking into the waist. There. So exhale. And I'm going to get you to rotate your arms, roll down, and bring the roller above the head again. So breathe in. On the exhalation, nice and slowly contract, contract, contract. Then breathe in, rotate, and pulse to the other side. Then you're going to drop the foam roller, reach up and over. So you're coming back into those oblique contractions and rotate the roller. Then breathe in and open yourself up. Exhaling and coming back into that lift. And then keep going, rotating from side to side. I'm going to show you the last exercise we're going to finish off with. Actually, that's a release we're going to finish off with. I want to bring another exercise into it with the shoulder blades on the foam roller. Here, like we did earlier, we did an inhalation. We're going to exhale into the tuck and breathe in, rolling the roller right up towards the neck, and keep the head resting in the hands, and just bring your shoulder blades, the top of the shoulder blades, onto the roller. We're now going to keep the pelvis in that thrust position and activate the glutes. Remember, the glutes are part of the core. The stronger the glutes are, the stronger that core is going to be. Here we're going to pulse the tailbone up to the ceiling, and I want you to focus on your breathing. And exhale. I want you to feel how your breath can go right down into that lower back as you exhale. Suction the belly button to the spine. We're going to add a roll down, so breathe in. As you exhale, I want you to think of each vertebra lowering down onto the mat. Tailbone comes down last. Once your tailbone is down, you're ready to inhale and then exhale. Tucking round, tucking round, tucking round. Breathe in. Coming up into that lift, and again pulse. If you're not feeling comfortable on the foam roller, any strain in the lower back, you work on the mat. So breathe in and exhale. Breathe in and thrust and pulse and exhale. So take it in your time. You know that the more you focus on the exhalation, the deeper you're going to come into that contraction. And I'm going to show you on the last release we're going to do, and a lovely stretch for the opening the front line of the body. If you're not feeling comfortable with the foam roller under the lower back, then you can bring your cushion under the lower back if you were using a cushion. Thrust the pelvis up, position the foam roller just slightly higher than the hip bones, and you can lengthen the legs out. Again, if you're not feeling comfortable in this position with the legs extended, you can release the knees and just bring the feet flat. Arms extended above the head, or you can rest your head in your hands. Find your position and lengthen out. So I want you to think of the lower back just melting into the foam roller. As you breathe in, feel the expansion again around the foam roller, around the lower back. Then as you exhale, I want you to feel yourself just melting into the foam roller. But if you're not comfortable on the roller, please release the foam roller and work. You're still going to be lengthening the front line of the body, getting you out of that chair posture. Let's breathe in and exhale. Most important thing is just to relax the muscles, relax into this position. And release. And you can continue going. I want you, when you're done with those stretches and those releases, to hug the knees into the chest. So if you're not using the foam roller, you can just bring your knees into your chest as well. Take your hands on either side of the foam roller or the mat and just extend the arms and rock the knees from side to side. Now, if you are not using the foam roller, I want you to consider bringing the foam roller back under the lower back, and you can always keep the feet flat and the knees bent. If you're in this position, you're going to tuck the tailbone and bring the knees towards the chest. And I want you to slowly, slowly push the foam roller out from under the lower back, just giving the lower back a really good massage. There we go. And you can put that foam roller to the side. Again, lengthen your legs out. Have a nice big yawn and stretch. Lengthen, lengthen, grow taller. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock around onto your right side. And you can come onto your hands and knees. And just finish off arching and tucking. So just breathing in and exhaling. And breathing in and exhaling. And just bounce there. Just relax into this release, bouncing the chest down. Let's curl the toes under, push up into your pyramid or down dog, and walk through the feet. Push both heels down into the mat. And when you're ready, try walk your feet to your hands. And again, hang out here, breathing in to that lower back area. And when you're ready, you breathe into this lifted position, uncurl through the spine. Circle the shoulders up and back. Just swing the arms around the body, getting into a little bit of rotation. And hopefully you're feeling those activations and those muscles around the spine a little bit stronger. Keep focusing on your breathing. Keep focusing on progression, and you'll feel stronger and there'll be a better range of motion. Thank you for joining me.